Glory Train Model Railroad Club roster update. It's the first one, actually. Might as well just start off here. First one is Kado, Bnsf SD70 Mac 9782. This guy has Tsunami 2 sound and soundtracks Keep Alive. It's got LED upgrade. This was originally a Bradley DCC locomotive, and then I bought it about third hand. I'm the third owner of it. Really nice sounding locomotive. Next up is an Anthem Genesis Bnsf SD70 Mac number 9784. This one does not have sound, just a normal DCC decoder in it. I've added safety striping. I try to do that to all my locomotives. Even the previous one, Bradley DCC started it. I added just the smoke box graphics, reflective safety stripes on the sill there. Did it just a little bit more rusting. Other than that, come back to this one. Still gonna have weathering to do. Eventually it'll get sound, add some more details. Pretty nice running locomotive. I try to keep with Kado, Anthem Genesis, Intermountain, scale trains. MTHs are really hard to get into, though. I'm sure everyone knows what I mean by that. All the other brands are easier to get into, easier to work with. Alright, moving on. Next up in my Bnsf roster is Kado, Bnsf SD70 Mac number 8802. This guy is custom weathered and detailed by me. Still missing details. It's one of my first weathering jobs, actually. It's got LED lights front and rear, ditch lights, smoke box graphic, safety stripes on the sill. Got some light bleed coming through on the bottom of the ditch lights there. Touch that up at some point. Not sure why my number boards aren't lit, though. I'll have to take a look at that. No sound. Normal DCC decoder. I try to use NCE when I can. Next up on the locomotive roster is Anthem Genesis Bnsf SD70M number 241. Anthem Genesis came numbered like that. I did weathering to it. Again, one of my first weathering jobs. Paint's already starting to peel off the back. Again, bear with me, please. It's the first time making a YouTube video. Maybe not the first time, but one of the first times. Custom weathered. Again, smoke box safety graphics, or safety stripes on the sill. All my weathering is just acrylic, a little bit of oil, and some powders. LED lighting upgrade. I was trying to make my own early PTC or locomotive control antennas there, instead of styrene. Eventually I'll get actual PTC upgrade up there. Next up is Anthem Genesis Bnsf SD75i number 291. This has the latest Bnsf swoosh paint scheme on it. So it's not done by me, but it was custom painted and very well. I did add LED lights to it. It's got Tsunami 2 sound and the Keep Alive decoder in it. Continuing with my EMD lineup, I have Bnsf Jeep 60, number 8783. This is a Walters Proto. Tsunami 2 sound added to it. Got to Keep Alive. Unfortunately, you can see it in there. I'm going to have to move it at some point. Added ditch lights. Real nice sounding locomotive. Alright, moving on here. Moving on with my EMDs. Anthem Genesis SD70 Ace number 9210, 9210. It's got, oh, what is in here? Soundtracks. Yeah, soundtracks. Tsunami 1 actually. It's the first run. Sounds a little low. Added some LEDs. Sorry, I'm at a weird angle here. Again, added the safety stripes on the side, on the sill there. Added a cab light on the inside and tinted the windows. Sorry, I'm trying to get around the street pole there. Still work in progress. We'll continue on here. Starting with my GE lineup for Bnsf. First off, we got the Intermountain Heritage Santa Fe, the Fantasy Scheme. It's ES44DC, number 1996. Tsunami 1 sound. Factory LEDs. Did do some weathering to it. Next up for my GEs is Scale Trains -9, Bnsf number 1099, factory sound. This is just the operator series. Eventually I'll get the details and everything that goes with it. Next is Anthem. This is actually an Anthem Blue Box. Forgot about that. One I custom weathered. It's a -9, number 986. I did have sunshades on it, but they broke off. Lights for some reason aren't working now. Of course, when I want to take a video, it doesn't want to work right. It's just standard DCC in this one. See, I still got masking tape on it from the weathering. I think it came out okay. Added my own detail parts there. This is just the first video. Hopefully in a month or two, we'll come back and everything will be updated. Have everything running nice. This is Bnsf 7695. It's an ES44AC. I believe it's an AC. This is the Golden Swoosh. This is Intermountain's first run with Tsunami 1 sound. Sounds pretty good. Factory lighting in it. Alright, continuing on. Alright, changing railroads here. We're moving on to Union Pacific. First up, I have a Kado Ac44cw, number 5727. I added LED lights, the warm white into it. Don't like the sunny white. Warm white looks a lot better. Came through a nice glow on the number boards there. Just a slight amount of bleed. Ditch lights came out okay. Not too bright, not too dim. Still need to paint the sunshade there. Add some more details. Weathered the rest of it, besides just darkening the grills. This one has just standard DCC in it. Again, probably an NCE decoder. That's what I run on the NCE power cab here, the Hammerhead. Actually, I got an SB5 and two DB5s that power this whole layout here with 2,000 square feet. Oh, getting ahead of myself. Come back here to the Union Pacific. Alright, we're going to continue on. Next on the roster is Union Pacific ES44AC, number 5463. Recently just got this one off Facebook. It's got the factory LEDs, still nice and bright. Weathered by the previous owner, very well, might I add. Very nice locomotive. Welcome to the family. PTC antenna on top. Alright, continuing on. This is my only heritage unit. This is an MTH SD70 ACE, Union Pacific number 1988. This is in the Kado heritage scheme. My dad is a big fan of the Kado. I plan to get all heritage schemes all across Norfolk Southern, Union Pacific. It's got LED lights, no sound, NCE decoder in there. Missing a fan detail part up top. Eventually I'll get that. Happened when I was putting the decoder in. These things are insane to take apart. Next up is a Kansas City Southern ES44AC, number 4657. This is also an Intermountain, first run. Factory LEDs. Factory Tsunami 1 sound. This guy dropped off my layout and he's actually missing quite a bit of detail. It's missing handrails on the other side. I'm actually showing his good side. You don't want to see the other side. That's the part that hit the ground from about 10 feet. Don't ask me how it got 10 feet. Next up is Ferromex 4655. I believe this is an ES44AC. I'm not sure if it's AC or DC. Anyway, this guy's had a rough life. I was weathering him. He fell off the weathering bench. Okay, no worries. We'll put him on the layout still. We'll run around. No. Him and Kansas City 4657, Kansas City Southern 4657 that is, decided they were going to fall off the layout. And in so take a turn and fall onto the lower portion of the layout, which then fell onto the lower portion of the layout, which then fell onto the floor and rolled a few times. I know, it was a very sad day. I don't know, locomotives could get destroyed like that, but this is the aftermath of it. He's still running, still makes sound. He's still alive. Headlight got pushed way in there, if it's even in there. Eventually, I'll be able to get some detail parts and fix this. Either I'll have to use Kado, maybe get some Canadian Pacific handrails, fix that. Or if Intermountain ever gets a parts department that will send me some. Alright, moving on with the foreign power. Next is CP Rail, AC44cw, 9551. This is an Anthem ready to roll model. Custom weathered. Added some details to it. It does have LED lights, and of course they're not wanting to work when they're in camera here. I swear my railroad is cursed. Just gonna slide him back a little bit. Still no headlights. Oh well. We'll do that on the next layout update. Headlights are real bright on this guy. Proud of how it came out. I just gotta have a cleaner track. Since it's coupled right up behind it, we're gonna go to CEFX AC44cw. This is also an Anthem ready to roll model. Also has an LED lighting upgrade. I'm gonna put this number in my NCE hammerhead and watch. Headlight's not gonna work. Oh, it does. Wrong way though, of course. Anyway, I'll have to make another video here soon of all my lighting. At least you'll get an idea what locomotives I have and don't have. Next up is Csx Ac44cw. It's number 61. His LED lights are working fine for whatever reason. He's custom weathered. Now, this is another first locomotive I did, so his lights are hardwired actually to track power. His lights are always on. Rookie mistake, because now I can't have control of it, and it is a pain to get back into there and screw up all my, what I call my first generation wiring. And I'm lazy and I just don't want to do that right now. So that's just how he's going to sit with his wiring. Eventually I will get another one just like it, so I have quite a few. Obviously the whole plan is to get a whole bunch of locomotives, have everything running great. And this was just kind of thrown together, spur of the moment roster update here. I'm just going to keep everything at once right now. This is an Atlas Gold Series? Yes, Gold Series. It's got the QSI sound. Sounds pretty good. Problem with QSI, maybe someone knows a way around this. QSI only lets you consist 2 locomotives, and that's it. You can't have 3, 4, 5, and so on. You can only have 2. And I'm just not the fondest of that. Oh, and forgot his ditch lights don't come on unless he's moving. And I have him consisted. And I have that consist turned off. So he's just not going to move right now. But anyway, you know, eventually I'll get my act together. Get my trains act together. Just noticed he's missing a sunshade. It's no bueno. Alright, moving on to some other power I have sitting here that I wanted to show. It's an Anthem ready to roll. Southern Pacific SW1500, I do believe. Standard. Ooh, sorry about that. Standard lights in that one. As in grain of wheat bulbs. Oh, those things are god awful. But there's a BLI, Broadway Limited, Paragon 3. Pennsylvania E8 my dad had got. And hopefully this doesn't make your camera sick. We're going to go over here. Hopefully we can see through this alright. I need to clean that glass. But there are 2 Athearn Sound Jeep Missouri Pacific locomotives. Those are still work in progress. They're sitting there because that is what I call my rip track. Those are waiting for LED upgrades. Here are a group of my dad's Jeep 7s, maybe? Jeep 9s? I know they're Jeep 7 or 9s, but these are the Rock Island and the maroon paint scheme. Get tongue-tied there. First one we got is going to be 1323. These are Proto. Life like Proto 2000s. Next one is 1321. And then the other one is 1329. I'm going to skip that one real quick because I have another Jeep here. This is an Anthem Genesis. This one has sound. Type in 1325 into the hammerhead here. We'll get some sound going. It's a little low. And she also was a casualty of paper mache on some building happening on the other side of the railroad. Someone forgot to move her and casualty of war. But it's alright. We'll clean her up. She's going to need a weathering job anyway. LED light upgrade. Probably put Tsunami sound, or Tsunami 2 actually. Tsunami's what's in there, but it's a little low. I just need to change with the settings, get back into JMRI. I actually took a little vacation, or hiatus actually, from model railroading, but trying to get back into it. I had to go to work. Well, everyone has to go to work, but I decided that I was going to just put everything on to the side for now, focus on the wife, the kid, working at the car dealership, needed to get cars rolling out, make some money, that way keep the roof over my head. But now, starting to get a little better, it seems. Getting back into the model railroading. Anyway, continuing on the Stewart U25B. Definitely a work in progress. That's how it came from eBay. Just bought it as is there. Figured I could fix it up. No, I can. Just now I got to find the time to get done. Non-sound. Standard DCC. And this is my dad's passenger train he's working on. I can't remember the exact name right now. Brains Camera Shy or something. I can't remember what it is, but it's the Rock Island train that ran and interchanged with the Southern Pacific at Tucumcari. I want to say it was the Golden State. I could be wrong. That is also a BLI Paragon 3. For now, it's all the locomotives I got out and running. I do have some other stuff I'm working on. We're going to go to the other room here and take a look at what I have in my display case that will be out and running on the way out at some point. Coming into the other side of the railroad here, we got an MTH Canadian National 2604 to -9. This guy's a work in progress. He is going to get sound coming up soon. Get a Tsunami 2. Plug that in here, and then replace this board here. Get the new decoder in, wire everything up. Keep Alive is going to go back here. Look out for that one in the next video update. Start from the bottom here in my display case. That is going to be a Proto Canadian National, or oh my gosh, Chicago and Northwestern Jeep 7. DCC, haven't made it into DCC yet. There's a Marine Corps F7, still DC, Bachmann. Now these are DCC, but they have issues. They're not wanting to run right. It's SD70 or 60, I do believe. Standard cab, Norfolk Southern. That's a Proto. Next is a Kado SD40-2 in the Oakway EMD leasing scheme. Next is, this is an Anthem Genesis Bnsf ST70 Mac. 8981. He's got a decoder in them. He lights, but he does not move. Have not found out why. Tried a lot of different CV programming and still haven't figured it out. So I'll get that worked out eventually. Next is an Alaska Railroad here. That is just DCC. Eventually he'll get a decoder. It's a SD70 Mac by Anthem Genesis. Some other just rolling stock here that eventually will get back on the layout. Eating different things, like I'm going to add safety stripes, changing a lot of my stuff to the 158 or 148 KD couplers, the scale head. Moving up, there's a Athern ready to roll LAJ CF7. That's DCC. I just need to get him on the layout, get it programmed. Next is a Frisco Jeep 38-2. That has QSI sound in it. I added LEDs, a little bit of weathering, safety stripe. I tried to modernize it. I was about 16 when I wrote that cheesy Bnsf on the side there. Eventually I'll get rid of that and put an actual decal in. Next is a wiring job potentially went wrong. I added Tsunami 2. Actually, sorry, it came with Tsunami 2. I added a Keep Alive to it, and I hardwired it in because... you know, I'm not the brightest. I didn't read that it came with a plug-and play. So I cut out the old Keep Alive, added new leads to it, or put the old leads back on, as you should say, and plugged it in, and now it's not working right. It just, I put it on the track, and it just keeps running and running and running. I'm not sure what's going on yet. Might have to just take everything out and start from scratch. Some more cars here we're working on. Alaska Railroad caboose. Fictional Arizona Midland. These are Bachmann Spectrum -8s. Eventually those will get DCC. I don't know. I'm not going to have an Arizona Midland on my railroad. But they'll probably just be around. You'll see them sitting off in a siding somewhere just to commemorate that I live in Arizona. And someone spent a lot of work trying to get these. Whatever happened with their layout, they just got rid of these. Maybe they just retired the power. Hopefully their layout's still continuing, but I'd like to continue on what they were doing. Next is some more Alaska locomotives here. Some passenger cars. So locomotives are just just DC, waiting for some decoder upgrades. And then next is what I call our test hopper. In my opinion, it's the best weathering job I've ever done. And it's also a brick. It is heavy as all get out. I have this Lincoln Grain, I have a Missouri Pacific, a Santa Fe, a Union Pacific, and a Norfolk and Western. All weathered up, kind of similar to this, and all weigh like a brick. And those are my test hopper cars to see how much a train will pull, or a specific locomotive will pull. Each car weighs 5 pounds. We'll do a layout update on the next visit. More stuff's coming along. Let's do a quick shot out the window into the big room. And that'll do it for this time. Again, hopefully the videos will get better and better as they go. Hope you hit that like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next layout tour and roster update at Glory Train Model Railroading.